You know, just a couple of gals here with some long hair and a lot to say. And that's why we're doing this YouTube video today.
Oh, hi YouTube.
Hey YouTube, it's Abby again. Y'all know me, most of you, but you don't know my friend and my roommate, my dear Sharon here. This is Sharon.
Hello,
She's
everybody.
very beautiful, but she can also be really ugly.
Yeah.
You ready? 1, 2, 3. That was precious. Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord.
Today I decided that it would be kind of fun to do maybe perhaps a mini series of people who know me, who are close to me, who have things to say about what it's like to have a friend or a roommate or a whatever who has one hand and has some insights that maybe I don't even know about yet would be fun to share with you here on YouTube. Anyway, I don't have a list of questions written down, but I think I'll think of a couple of things along the way.
Go ahead and ask me. Just ask me a few questions that you think that I might be able to answer for you clearly, because I have a lot to say about you, but, you know,
You have to be
I will only
drawn
answer
out.
the questions that are asked to me.
How long have we known each other?
We have known each other now for 9 years.
Almost a whole decade.
Almost a whole entire decade.
So,
You
yeah.
know that's right.
You know that's right. Let's go to the obvious question. What was your first impression of me when you were like, oh, she doesn't have two hands?
I didn't really think about it. I met you and I loved you from like the very start, just because that took second place.
You mean my arm?
Yes. Like that was never like a note. Like I never really thought of it. It was just more so like,
Oh.
I met you and saw your personality.
And my ugly hat I used to wear all the time. That Romania hat.
Oh yeah, the beanie.
Oh. I might show you guys in the
And
edits.
you wore your hair
Oh, my hair was a disaster.
in the middle. Like
I
middle
parted
part.
it in the middle, and I hadn't discovered dry shampoo, so you know that's a problem. And I used to wear these like really low ponytails. It was all bad. I'm a little ill.
Well, that sickness is probably my fault in general.
Oh yeah, you already
so,
got it. You probably won't get it again.
Yeah.
Well, you know, when you live with somebody, you share a lot of things,
you-
including germs.
You tend to get sickness from each other. Being in the same quarters.
And yeah, close quarters. Yeah, our rooms are across the hall.
We only have one bathroom.
Probably not gonna put that in there. What is one thing that I can do that surprised you? Like,
There were a lot of things that you could do that surprised me, and you still do a lot of things. One is your incredible talent to play the drums and the guitar. The other was tennis. You were so good at tennis, and
we
I
used
was
to play
like,
tennis together a lot.
yeah, except I can't play tennis with two hands, and she's like a pro at tennis with one arm. I was like, jeez. Anyways, I feel like Abby, like she almost does more than most people do with two hands, because she's just constantly pushed herself.
I don't want my arm to ever hold me back, so I put extra effort into it.
Right. Like, you go to the gym, I don't. You play tennis, I don't.
See, this video series is just a secret way for me to get compliments on screen. Just kidding. What if somebody came up to you and said, hey, you have a friend who's missing a hand. I now have befriended somebody who also has a physical difference. How should I approach them, like, when we're around other people? Would you have any advice?
Just act normal. Like, I don't view someone not having an arm as, like, a social thing I have to even think about. That just, like, in my brain, like, that doesn't, like, connect. Like,
Did it ever?
No, not once, ever.
Hmm.
It was never a thing, and it was never, like, like, it's not an uncomfortable thing in my book.
I've heard from a lot of people who've gotten to know me that they forget. Actually, basically from everybody. I was just talking about this the other day. Like, once they've been around me a couple of times, they just don't even notice it anymore. Don't screw this up, Sharon. Do you watch my YouTube videos?
I watch your TikTok videos, your Instagram videos, and your Facebook videos, but I never.
Doesn't even watch App Show.
I don't get on YouTube.
Yeah, I know. Oh, YouTube
Unless
is
I'm
a
watching
unique...
Judge Judy or Dr. Phil.
Wow, I did not mean to say it like 9 years ago.
9 years ago.
What's the funniest thing that has ever happened? Like, if you ever... I'm asking you because I don't remember. A prank or like something somebody said that you remember?
I have a trauma experience that I remember.
What?
When you pretended that you were going to take a scissors and snip off the very end, and I literally started bawling my eyes out.
Did I do that?
Yes. You had a scissors and you were like,
oh,
and
no.
I freaked out.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
I don't even remember that. I guess she's talking about this. Oh, that's so messed up. She started bawling.
I have PTSD from that. Even as I'm thinking about it.
That's terrible. Man, I'm telling you, my younger self was not very gentle. But yeah, when I was a little kid, I'd be like, I wonder if I could just cut this off. Anyway, I won't do that again, I promise. Even though you have that lovely gold scissors that works really well, maybe I could...
That's the gold scissors you had in your hand.
That's messed up. That was not recent. That
Next
must have been...
question.
A couple more. Do you ever tell people who don't know me that you have a friend with one hand?
I do, but only to tell people about your YouTube and your TikTok and your Facebook, just because people are really, like, interested in that stuff. And I have this guy at work who cooks back in the kitchen, and he has one arm.
That's right.
He was born without. So I asked him one day, hey, Sky, if you don't mind me asking, now, do you lose your arm? And he said, I was born without it. And I told him, like my roommate was too. I mean, he's a cook back in the kitchen, and that entails a lot more than just cooking.
Yeah.
That entails, like doing the dishes and carrying the glass racks, and especially if you're like half of your arm is missing, but like he clearly does everything so well, Yes,
that's so interesting. I feel like I've heard this statistic. It's pretty uncommon. I won't give you the statistic because I could be wrong, but it's pretty uncommon. Statistics. We're talking about statistics.
You wanna talk about statistics? I'll tell you about statistics. Every 1 in 1,000 babies is born without their arm.
Is that how I said it?
We have a lot of inside jokes.
Yeah. I went on some tirade and we do this voice. Anyway, can't get into that. That would be like, that's a whole different video. The statistic is that it's rare for somebody to be born this way. And I think it's so interesting that now you have encountered 2 people in your life, I almost said lives, 2 people in your life who were born missing. An upper limb amputation is what they call that. Maybe you're just a magnet for people like me. Now that we've been friends and we're close, how do you think that would affect you if you were to actually have a baby with a missing hand?
If I had a child with one arm now after knowing you, it would help me as a mother be able to encourage my child, like that there are no limits. It's about like, what do you want to do, and like you can push yourself and find out ways to do those things and be confident in your personality and who you are. That's the most important thing. If you're missing an arm, that's not, as important as like what you show people through your hard emotions, passion, whatever it is. I don't know. So it would help me.
Yeah, that's good. Plus they'd have a cool aunt.
Heck yeah.
Who looks like them. But essentially you wouldn't be like afraid or worried about it.
No.
Like in a nutshell. I have a pretty tight-knit group of friends, and it's I think like when you really genuinely connect with people, especially like on a soul level or whatever, it's a physical stuff just doesn't matter as much, and that's part of what I do. That's part of the message.
But if you weren't hot though, you wouldn't be my friend. Just
yeah, thanks, man.
JK.
But yeah, I think that's part of the thing that I loved about these videos that I make, that a message that comes through even when I don't specifically share it, and that is that physical differences are a deal, but they're not that big of a deal. And I think that hopefully AbShow is helping the effort to normalize that, and it also hopefully helps parents of kids who are going to be born, who are developing in the womb, or who have recently been born, kids with limb differences. Hopefully the parents are encouraged by watching videos like this to know that, yeah, their child is going to be okay and have a good life and make friends and do normal things. But anyway, she goes, thank you so much, Sharon, for joining me today here on our living room couch. Actually, I really very rarely do videos with other people this close, so thanks for doing this. This will be hopefully the first of several videos that
Paul life.
Paul life. She has to put up with me making videos in the house all the time and whatnot. But yes, so hopefully this will be the first of several videos like this where you can get some insight into what it's like living near or with or around a person with a limb difference like me. And that's just taking another step into sharing my life with all of you, and I'm happy to do that as usual. If you've not had the chance to check out the rest of my channel, please do so. And if you're interested in becoming an AbShow patron, patreon.com/AbShow is the way you can do that. I'll link everything below. And as always,
I've always wanted to do that.
Link below.
The link below. It's right there.
As always, thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Sharon, again. A special shout out to patrons right after this, and don't forget to subscribe.